All right, so we are working traffic on Highway 20 eastbound currently. You know, when we're in our cars, we're driving, doing our thing, hopefully obeying the law and the speed limit. But there are troopers and deputies and police that are out here making sure we're doing that. I've been watching Deputy Hicok here kind of do his thing, and I'm interested in what actually you're doing here when you're checking for speed.
Okay. Well, what I'm looking for, well, I'm watching my rear mirror as well. We have cars coming up behind me and coming at me. The radar units that we have dual antennas. One is in front, one's in the back.
So just because you're facing us doesn't mean you can't check our speed behind?
Right. I can clock cars coming up behind me as well.
Okay.
We go in the same direction. I can clock a car coming at me, opposite direction, and going away from me, as well as coming up behind me or in front of me, going away from me that way.
So right there is new information for me.
Yeah, it's on the settings with the remote that we have. Basically there's 4 different directions that you can clock cars. What I look for is tracking history on a target vehicle. If I'm looking at the flow of traffic, I can just guesstimate, professional guesstimation about how fast those vehicles are going as they're coming at me based on my experience. So I don't turn the radar on, because if they got a radar detector, then the car's gonna trip it off. So we're a little sneaky that way. So if I see a car over there that looks like it's traveling over the posted speed limit, I'll wait to kind of get them in the crosshairs per se, and then I'll activate the radar to get a clock on them. And the same with the cars coming up behind me. I'll check in my mirrors. If I see somebody come flying up behind me, I might speed up and get away from them a little bit, and then slow back down to kind of set the trap, if you will.
So if you, as a driver, are in the passing lane, are you a bigger target than if you're in the right lane?
Sometimes it's a tell. People use the passing in the left lane, but you can tell those vehicles they're now traveling approximately about the same speed. But if you're driving the speed limit, technically you can drive in the left lane. There's no law says you can't.
Yeah.
It's a courtesy. I drive in the left lane because if I clock a car coming at me over here, I need to get across there. I need to get through that median as quick as I can. And I want to fight through traffic that's coming up behind me in that left lane. Interfere, I don't want to cause an accident. So if you see an officer hanging in the left lane, I'm not out here I'm not a pace car setting the pace for everybody behind me. I usually set my cruise at about 4 or 5 miles an hour over the posted speed limit to keep people back behind me happy and comfortable. But they're not going to pass me either, because if they're past me, then I know their speed. So, but also if I see someone coming up behind me, closing in on me, I know they're traveling well over the posted speed limit, because I'm doing 5 over, and they're closing on me.
What do you say? I'm sure you hear this all the time. What do you say to the driver that is in the passing lane and kicks it a little bit to get around the guy and then slows back down? Is it okay with you?
I don't have a problem with that. Especially when they're trying to pass a commercial motor vehicle, a semi. I don't like people hanging in them semis in their blind spots beside them. Too many bad things can happen.
So if I need to bump it up 4, 5, 6 degrees over, or a mile an hour over to get around?
Yep, I don't have a problem with that.
Same thing passing on a 2-lane. You know, you almost always have to do that.
Yep, yeah, you're going to have to accelerate just a little bit. Now, all depends on the speed of the car you're passing. If the car you're passing is doing a 55 in a 55 zone, no reason to pass them.
Yeah.
You know, but if they're doing 50 and you want to get around them and you see cars coming, okay, I'm going to hurry up and get around them quick. By all means, we take that into consideration. But a lot of times people pass a guy doing 57, 58, 60, and I caught them at 73, 74. Well, if the guy's already speeding, what'd you pass him for? You really have no reason, so you can't justify that.
Yeah.
You know, and that happens a lot.